The case between Ripple and SEC has not been on a stable path. To make things even worse, there seems to be a huge uproar in the court as the judge recently pointed out something that may be crucial to the manner in which the case proceeds. Stay tuned till the end because there are certain facts that may have been missed out by you, which hold a high value to this case. In this video, we will be looking into the recent statements made by Judge Netburns as she scheduled a telephonic conference to settle out the dispute being dragged since the start of April 2021. We will be getting into more details and will analyze what has been going on in the recent days in between SEC and Ripple. This will also give us an idea about the manner in which the case may proceed ahead.
Idea! Ding, 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 ding!
And we'll also be able to determine the price action that may follow in the coming days. Make sure to enable all your notifications to our channel to keep up with all the hottest secrets in the world of XRP. Also, before we proceed, keep in mind that this is not financial advice, and we are not financial advisors. Everything that has been mentioned in this video is meant to be only for educational or entertainment purposes, so do conduct your own due diligence. The most recent argument that they have been making in the court is that the internal documents, with regard to the agency's discussion over the nature of XRP and Ethereum, are all protected by something called as the DPP, which means a deliberative process privilege. This prevents any data from coming out to the public forum in an abrupt manner, thereby protecting the internal details of anything going on within the SEC.
Yes, protect who?
This argument seems to be not so sufficient for the court to allow the SEC to continue. The court, as a result, decided to rule against this contention, which became a major change of success for Ripple. As the case proceeds in favor of Ripple, there are high chances that the price of XRP will remain on a constant rise. This result in the court will be one of the major wins for the company. The appeal has already been dismissed by the court more than 2 times, which yet again looks in favor of Ripple. The documents that the SEC claims to be too confidential will be very important for the fair notice defense which has been raised by Ripple. As the court seems to be in favor of Ripple through this very statement, there are high chances that we might see Ripple coming out of the case victorious in a very short span of time. The documents will also follow a few contradictions in the decision-making that has occurred throughout the year. One of those details are out as well. We will be able to see some major changes in the manner in which the matter proceeds in the court of law. The deposition by William Hinman has been providing a very general feel that regulatory clarity is something that has for long been lacking in all forms of communications made by the SEC. There seems to be no word on the manner in which these regulations have been laid down and the basis for the difference in the treatments made in between Ripple, XRP, and the other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. This means that the lack of intelligible differentia will certainly be one of the major defenses that Ripple may hold to its perusal. Furthermore, this difference, which has been made, neglecting all forms of a rational nexus, will certainly be questionable in the court of law when all regulatory flaws are brought out into the limelight. The fact that the authority has not been bringing any factual clarity or a difference based on concrete evidence, the claims being made by them seem to be coming out of thin air. The recent statement made by the court may also have come out of the fact that the documents which are being claimed as confidential and extremely sensitive are the ones that are the most useful for the case in hand. Therefore, holding the documents of such high value for the case would never be allowed in any court. Therefore, such an argument would under no circumstances hold a great value. Given the experience that the counsel for SEC has, the chances for them to be aware of this fact are very high. However, despite the knowledge, a claim of such nature will certainly raise questions in the court of law, making the case even harder for the SEC. On the other hand, there were 2 more important points pointed out by Jeremy Hogan, who is an attorney, in a friendly relationship with Ripple. These points added more value to the fair notice defense that was being held upon by Ripple for a long time. While all this was happening, the SEC still continued to file a motion to compel Ripple to produce certain documents with regard to the recordings of specific meetings. This demand was, yet again, replied to by Ripple, claiming that Ripple never mentioned SEC about the routinely recorded staff meetings. This was the case until it was testified through a deposition which was made in the earlier phase of this month. Now, the manner in which the court decided for this claim will be something that will be very anticipated and will hold a high value to the case in hand. Each of the events till now seems to be going in favor of the coin. However, the chances are very high that we will see a resolution soon enough, which will take the price of XRP to a level that we would never expect it to go. The judge has never been happy with the manner in which the SEC has been making interpretations on a subjective basis. This has therefore been able to make the changes in a rather extensive manner. The council has been arguing that Ripple has been trying to work things out internally and also has been trying to collapse things out into the digital asset laws. They also claimed that Ripple is looking into settling things and has been trying to swing the door open, which could be very damaging.
Far more damaging.
In all the statements made by them, it is to be noticed that there was a huge factual gap, in a sense that all arguments have been vague and required clarity. This was the reason why SEC was told to bring more clarity in all the arguments that are being made on the case. Furthermore, it was also claimed by Ripple that the SEC must reveal all crypto holdings within the SEC employees. These documents are being compelled to be produced by Ripple for them to determine if the SEC employees were permitted to trade XRP and other digital assets. The court then gave a deadline till the 3rd of September to respond to the question. The judge will also be proceeding with the internal documents in the coming days as the case comes to an end. The ruling for this should probably be made after the 28th of September 2021. This ruling will be based fully on the SEC's internal documents, the same one which have been disallowed by the SEC as they claimed that the said documents are protected under their policies. As the judge claims to review the documents herself in the best manner possible, it was found imperative to notice the other important elements which may be hidden within the documents. This may be the reason why the judge decided to have a look at all these privileged documents with her own eyes. Therefore, the judge decided to conduct an on-camera review of the said documents. As a response to this, they claimed that there is a post-decisional and a pre-decisional process, and also that there are several different arguments that may claim that there may be many examples in the privilege logs to argue the different, concurrent deliberative processes. On the basis of the said arguments, it was advised by the council to exercise caution while making any decision. It was also claimed that this could be prejudicial and therefore could have repercussions with extreme consequences. This was being argued with regard to the internal documents. Therefore, the judge reminded the petitioners that the document will be reviewed in the absence of the XRP, and therefore there is no need to worry about the important information being leaked by any party. Either way, it was held that the internal communication between the SEC and all other documents that hold high value will be preserved and reviewed under conditions of absolute privacy, meaning thereby that the SEC's warning of exercising caution will be met at the highest standards. As soon as we see the court ruling in favor of the cryptocurrency, we will certainly see a major price action that will push the prices to a higher level. We can even be certain that the next price action will take the price all the way to the $5 mark in no time. However, there will be certain factors playing their role. One among them will be the manner in which the community accepts the coin. We hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to this channel for more similar content. We will also be providing you with more to learn, for which you will need to stick with us and turn on the post notification to never miss out on anything. Until we meet again, stay tuned and stay determined to earn more.